Hello, class. My name is Grant Johnson, and this is my persuasive speech. Here's my audience. All right, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about the importance behind communication. Communication is a huge aspect in today's world and society that truly doesn't get the recognition it probably deserves. Um, Nowadays, people think that communication is like not that big of a deal, or that I can just send someone a text and solve the issue, um, and that's just not the case. There's other things that come along with communications that need to be discussed. Um, so today I wanted to talk to you guys more about in-depth communication, starting with common problems, and then realizing the issue, and then helping understand God love through communication. Um, some things that have helped me through this situation is previous relationships, communication through family members, helping others understand different aspects of my life and some things that have gone on through my life, and helping them fully understand what's going on, and not just understanding the surface level, but understanding, helping them understand more of the what exactly is going on. So a common problem that basically communication is a common problem that has detrimental effects. Everyone thinks it's, oh, I just don't communicate well, but it's whatever. But that's not the case. Communication is while it is a small issue, can have detrimental effects on a relationship long term. If you have a relationship with someone, even a friendship, and you aren't able to communicate your feelings or aren't able to communicate how you feel, then those in turn will have issues down the road with not understanding, not being on the same page, and end up having effects on the relationship. The second issue is most people that I've talked to that deal with communication issues and that don't communicate well realize they have an issue with communication. However, they decide that it's not worth fixing. They think it's just who they are, and it's not something that really is necessary to need to be fixed. It's an issue that can just be pushed aside, and that if they struggle with it, that whoever they are end up with a relationship or a friendship that they have with someone that has an issue with their communication skills will just get over it. And that's not the case. Communication is something that's a two-way party. And if both sides don't equally communicate, or communicate what they struggle with, or communicate what they're dealing with, then they'll never truly be able to maximize that potential relationship or friendship. The third point I wanted to talk about is helping others understand God's love through communication. Communication about God's love can just be as simple as it doesn't even have to be describing certain feelings or relationships, or describing certain feelings towards relationships. It could be as simple as like a language barrier. If you're trying to be a missionary in another country and you don't understand the language, that's a communication issue that would need to be fixed. So even just showing that, that's something that anyone could not exactly work on, but could create a better point of emphasis for improvement, which is something that could be really worked on from that aspect. A verse that I thought that was big on communication was Psalm 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And I thought this verse really, while not directly talking about communication, still discusses the aspect of communication issues, and how the way you communicate, even if you do communicate, the way you communicate matters. So if you communicate and you do it in the right way, and you are kind about it, and you talk to them with respect, and you're not yelling, then that can really make someone understand, and that can really help them understand more about a situation and come alongside you and work through that situation. Whereas if you go to someone and try to communicate with them by yelling at them, or calling out things that they were doing in the wrong way, and not having biblical ethics behind it or biblical verses behind it, then that could be a huge issue, and that could turn them away and not help them understand the real issues that they have. So communication is a huge issue when talking about just biblical areas in general, from a fellow believer to someone that you feel is sitting around you and that you need to help them, guide them along, or someone that needs to help you in the way you deal with communication on back to them on their end. Understanding, the way I wanted to wrap this up is understanding with the way to communicate per situation. The way you communicate is a huge deal. Nowadays, everyone wants to text someone, or they think it's easier to send them an email, or if they have an issue with the way they're doing something, it's just easier to deal with it over writing instead of face to face. And nowadays, I think that's become a real issue with our society, and that people now need to communicate face to face and help them fully understand the issue that they have through the situational area. Thank you.